Happy new weekend. Welcome to another edition of this program. Welcome to Abntv newspaper review. Here with me I have the Tribune newspaper and I have the Punch newspaper. And firstly we go to the Tribune newspaper. And the headline here with me in the Tribune newspaper: my administration has no plans to demolish Ilesha Central Mosque. Some governors are threats to democracy. What minimum wage to pay their state workers. The NLC, in a statement signed by its head of information and public affairs, Benson Opan, said it was compelled to speak out because of recent statements made by some governors that they would only pay whatever they deem fit as minimum wage to their workers. The NLC describes such governors as a threat to democracy, even as it promised them what is described as sword of democracies at the end of their tenure. The statements read, the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) is compelled to address the recent statements made by some Nigerian governors regarding their desire to pay what they deem fit to Nigerian workers as the minimum wage. This notion is not only dictatorial but also undermines the very essence as well as the modern adapted for creating a national minimum wage in Nigeria. The concept of a national minimum wage is not arbitrary. It represents a national wage floor, a baseline below which no worker in the law should be paid. This threshold is a collective agreement that ensures a minimum standard of a living for every worker in the law. The governor demands to unitarily determine the minimum wage, negate this principle, said, threatening the welfare of Nigerian workers and the national economy. It is important to remind the governor that the national minimum wage is not synonymous with the individual pay structures of the states which they implement religiously, reflecting their unique financial capabilities and circumstances. This diversity in pay structures underscores the flexibility that already exists within the system, allowing states to reward their workers in alignment with their financial realities. Minimum wage. Some governors are threats to democracy. The full list of stories in page 3 of Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Another story here with me in the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Kaduna empower 15,000 women with 4.5 billion naira. The Kaduna state government has launched the demonstration of the National Women's Economic Empowerment Policy. To this end, the government approved 4.5 billion naira as a special intervention for 15,000 households in the state. The State Commissioner for Human Services and Social Development, Aliya Rabi Salisi, disclosed this as a one-day workshop organized by the Development to support the demonstration of the national policy in the state. She disclosed that the state was determined to invest in women and girls through various interventions in economic development, education, while commending the development research and project center for supporting the state ensure that Kaduna State will be a state center in promoting development and uplifting the standard of living of women. I want to assure you that so far so good in the areas of social intervention, cash transfer skills acquisition, education, and social development, adding that launching the policy will enable more investment and inclusion in the state. Earlier, the Executive Director of the Development Research and Project Center, Dr. Judith Anning, represented by the Director of Partnership and Communication, Malam Asa Aliyu, disclosed that the rationale behind the support of the state is to support inclusion, adding that 24 more states have been earmarked to be supported to demonstrate the policy. Kaduna empower 15,000 women with 4.5 billion naira. The food subsidies in page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Another story here with me in the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Federal government governor forum partner UNICEF to revitalize healthcare in Northeast. The federal government and the Nigeria Governor Forum have collaborated with UNICEF to revitalize the healthcare system in the Northeast as part of efforts to achieve universal health coverage for the country. Speaking as a Northeast state settle wide approach engagement in Maiduguri in Friday, the UNICEF Health Manager Clement Adams said the partnership was aimed at implementing the government's plan to improve healthcare services for the benefit of the Nigerian. According to him, UNICEF is working in collaboration with the government to ensure effective service delivery in the health sector in the Northeast. To achieve this goal, UNICEF is sponsoring a program to support the implementation of the government. Agricultural sector to end food scarcity in the country. He said, even though the federal government had made such a declaration before, it should do again with full political will. Aliyu stated this on Friday while speaking with Saturday Tribune on the high cost of foodstuff in the country. The current situation in the country needs a serious intervention from the federal government, and it should be urgent. How can the government remove subsidy, float naira, and later withdraw its support for farmers? Definitely, this is to the result. There should be a lot of federal government intervention in agriculture, but all that has stopped, and we need to know that farm implements are not easy to get. A bag of fertilizer that sold for about 4,000 naira before, the removal of subsidy is now over 25,000 naira. Even seedlings that were less than 20,000 naira then and over 70,000 naira now. How do you expect farmers to survive under such conditions? He said. Also speaking, the state chairman of NAPAN, Alhaji Murtala Bawa, disclosed the rumor that the union was diverting foodstuff meant for the southern parts of the country to neighboring countries. Bawa said apart from onion, which had already been listed among exports goods, no other foodstuff is allowed to go out of the country. He said, how can you export perishable goods? Most of these things we talk about, such as tomatoes and pepper, are perishable goods, so they must be taken to the market immediately after harvesting. Onions producer urged federal government to declare emergency on food scarcity. The food subsidies in page 6 of Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Another story here with me in the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. NSCDC charged private security companies to join war against insecurity in Oyo. The Oyo State Commandant of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Auguste Padanu, has charged private security companies to actively participate in information gatherings and serve as an extension of the former security agency in light of the current state of security in the country. Padanu gave the charge during the closing ceremony of the 3-day training program for private security guard organized by the Private Guard Complaints Department of NSCDC, Oyo State Command. The event with the theme Private Guard in Nigeria, Challenges, Opportunity, and Best Practice held from Tuesday, June 24 to Thursday, June 26, 2024, at the command headquarters in Agodo, Ibadan. According to a statement by the Public Relations Officer (PRO) of the command DSC, Samuel Okpabi, who represented by the head of Department Administration DCC Moshood Adeyemo at the ceremony on Thursday, Okpabi in a statement said the training is part of the mandate of NCDC as established in Act Number 2 of 2003 as amended in 2007 and reflect the division of the Commandant General Dr. Ahmed Abubakar Adu. NSCDC charged private security companies to join war against insecurity in Oyo. The full details is in page 7 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. And lastly, with me in the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, JAMB released 2024 supplementary UTME results. The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has announced the release of the results of candidates who participated in the Supplementary Unified Statutory Matriculation Examination UTME conducted between February 21 and Saturday 22 June 2024. Spokesperson of JAMB, Dr. Fabia Benjamin, made this known on Friday in a statement in Abuja. He noted that the supplementary examination was conducted for 28,835 candidates who were unable to biometrically verify during the main 2024 UTM and were therefore unable to take their examination. Benjamin added that the other category of candidates were those suspected to have been involved in the examination malpractice during the main UTME, but who are given a second chance to seize the examination. According to him, the exercise, which recorded a huge success nationwide, was marked by excellent security measures put in place by the board to preclude any instance of examination infractions. As such, some nefarious characters who had attempted to impersonate bonus ID candidates were apprehended and handed over to law enforcement agencies for further investigation and prosecution. JAMB released 2024 supplementary UTME results. Before we come back to another edition of this program, if you'd like to watch us live and direct on our website, you can click on www.abntv network on our website. Click on www.abntv network, and we also have our social media. We have the Facebook, we have the YouTube, we have the Twitter, we have the Instagram. On Facebook, you can click on Abntv OSUN. Try to subscribe and share us and like us. On our YouTube, you can click on Abntv Nigeria. On our Twitter, you can click on Abntv OSUN. And lastly, on our Instagram, click on Abntv Nigeria. If you try to watch us live and direct on our website, try to subscribe and like us and comment on our social media. We'll be right back for another edition of this program, Newspaper Tribune. We'll be right back. Let's listen to what we have for you on our studio.
Discover the uniqueness in the entertainment industry. African Broadcasting Network, ABN, is now the pace setter in the industry. Do you want to advertise your product and services? Count on us. We will do it much more than your expectations. African Broadcasting Network, ABN, will deliver quick and prompt services. Our quality and clarity stands us out when it comes to delivering quality broadcasting. Our staffs are hardworking and versatile in the specific field of office. Our environment is so conducive and we are open to all. We also give advice on how to run your business profitably. African Broadcasting Network is situated at
9894 Eastern Street, Suite 875, Houston, Texas 77036.
Contact phone 281-652-8396 and
832-490-8203.
Website www.abntvnetwork.com. ABN, celebrating Africans' rich cultural heritage.
Now to another edition of this program, The Punch newspaper. CNN debates bandits camp manage poor housing as tribe supporters celebrates. Kidnapping strip. Police upgrade tracking as 1,290 abducted in 2024. Minimum wage. Labour rejects governor's bill to take over negotiation. Now the story in details. Federal government exports 17 trillion naira crude to US, orders in 9 months. The federal government exported crude oil within 17 trillion naira to 7 foreign countries over a period of 9 months. Saturday on Punch has gathered. Recall that the Nigeria Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission on Tuesday, June 4, 2024, mandated international oil companies to apply crude oil to the 650,000 capacity Dangote Petroleum Refinery. The spokesperson for the NUTRC, Olaide Sholana, had said the commission visits intervening to ensure the local sale of the crude oil to Dangote and other refineries in the country. Sholana made the disclosure following a claim by the chairman of the Dangote Group that the IOCs were not ready to sell crude oil to the country. In an interview with CNN, Aliko Dangote had said the IOC in Nigeria were used to exporting crude for foreign exchange and they were not ready to stop. Dangote said through the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited was doing its best to supply feedback to the refinery the IOC wanted to sell outside the country. The NNPC is doing its best, but some of the IOC, they are struggling to give its crude everybody is used to exporting and nobody wants to stop exporting, he stated. The business mogul said Africa was not growing because it sells raw materials to the Western world and buy the same as the finished goods. Africa is not going to the way it should because we export raw materials and import finished goods. It does not matter what it is, even if it is a gold or whatever. Raw materials is always priced as a ridiculous amount compared to finished goods, Dangote said. Federal government exports 17 trillion crude oil to US, orders in 9 months. The full story is in page 5 of Nigerian Punch newspaper. Another story here with me in the Nigerian Punch newspaper. Oyebanji opposed unfair acts in house rents. The streets by the Australian house rents in State Governor Biodun Oyebanji has begun move to correct the trend by regulating the real estate sector in the state. The special advisor to the governor is the state bureau of housing and mortgage development, Dr. Benja Oluniyo, disclosed this on Friday, adding that the state government will soon make laws and regulations to check the arbitrary high rents in the state to make life easy for residents. Oluniyo stated this in Ado-Ekiti during a meeting of government representatives with the real of estate players under the Authority of Estate Rents and Commission Agents of Nigeria, Ekiti State Chapter. He expressed the governor's dissatisfaction with the outrage rents obtaining in the state and the attendant effects on residents. The governor is interested in making sure that in the real sector, we should moderate and have regulation that will make life easy for the citizens of the Ekiti State. Oyebanji opposed unfair acts in house rent. The full service is in page 9 of Nigerian Punch newspaper. Another story here with me in the Nigerian Punch newspaper. Federal government partners ECOWAS on rural water supply. The federal government on Friday met with officials from the economic community of West African states in a bid to guarantee access to potable water for rural communities in Nigeria and the West African sub-region. The Minister of Water Resources, Joseph OSUN, disclosed this in the 5th ordinary session of the Ministerial Monitoring Committee meeting of the Permanent Framework for the Coordination and Monitoring Integrated Water Resources Management education, tourism, food security, and energy. He told the ministers from the sub-region and ECOWAS officials that the lack of proper coordination will lead to underdevelopment and conflicts among countries, because the activities of the countries upstream could constitute a danger to other countries. The meeting is the 5th integrated water management in the West African states of Africa. Federal government partners, ECOWAS, on rural water supply. The full service is in page 26 of Nigerian Punch newspaper. And lastly, with me in the Nigerian Punch newspaper, housing markets can unlock 1 trillion naira economic, says Dangiwa. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Ahmad Dagowa, has said the country housing market has the potential to unlock 1 trillion naira dollars economic. Speaking during the grand break ceremony for the 250 housing units Renew Hope estate in Akwa Ibom, recently, Dagowan emphasized that the housing sectors could catalyze 1 trillion dollars economic. The project, which is part of the Renew Hope, says an estate program launched by the president with a groundbreaking for 3,112 Renew Hope citizens in Katsina, covers states like Kano with 500 unit Renew Hope City and Katsina with 250 units Renew Hope estates in the first round of groundbreaking. We plan to turn Nigeria into a huge construction site. These estates, like the others, comprise 50 units of adlams and self-dictated bungalows, 150 units of 2-bedroom flats and semi-detached bungalows, and 50 units of 3-bedroom semi-dash bungalows. Housing markets can unlock 1 trillion naira dollars economic, says Dangura. The food service is in page 25 of Nigerian Punch newspaper, and that's what we have for you on our newspaper review. If you'd like to watch us live and direct on our website, you can click on www.abntv network on our website. Click on www.abntv network, and we also have our social media. We have the Facebook, we have the YouTube, we have the Twitter, we have the Instagram. On our Facebook, you can click on ABNTV Houston. On our YouTube, you can click on ABNTV Nigeria. On our Twitter, you can click on ABNTV Houston. And lastly, on our Instagram, click on ABNTV Nigeria. If you try to watch us live and direct on our website. Thank you for listening. Thanks for watching me. My name is Kenny Afolabi. Bye for now.